Hey, what's going on, DDO players? Axel here. Welcome back to my free-to-play series. If you haven't seen these videos before, this is a series where I'm playing through DDO on a fresh free-to-play account using only what I find. No auction house, no ship buffs, no trades from other players, nothing like that. So today, there's a bunch of things I need to show you to update that I updated on the character in terms of gear and a little bit in terms of enhancements. And then we're going to run Invaders, which is a quest that's more challenging typically, but it won't be for me on this build, and I'll explain why in just a minute. But yeah, let's start with what I did since last video. So I did, as I mentioned last video, last episode where I did the Lord's March Plaza chain, the 3 free quests there. I told you in that last video I was going to farm out a gear set, which I did do. So I did farm out since last episode. I farmed out a Teresa's site, and also a where is it, the Manea's fists. So I got these from Eyes of Stone and Framework respectively. So the site came from Framework, and the gloves came from Eyes of Stone. But I got those because I already had the ring before, which comes from Diplomatic Impunity. So this is a 3-piece set. So I now have this set bonus, as you can see up here in my buff bar. Wrath of course, Sorakel. So I have these 3 items, and they together, when all 3 are equipped, they give you this extra bonus, which is 25 artifact bonus to universal spell power, plus 5 artifact bonus to PRR, plus 1 artifact bonus to imbue die, and plus 3 artifact damage to artifact bonus to attack and damage. So this is basically the only one of the very few. There may be a couple others in this level range, but this is the clear go-to for me on being restricted to only free-to-play content. This is the clear go-to set bonus that I wanted to power me through 15 to 20. So set bonuses are a big part of DDO's gearing, particularly in endgame. Now they've gone away somewhat with from that with, say, Myth Draenor, and then the most recent expansion, Chill of Ravenloft, with Sun and Moon augment slots, which is another way to get artifact bonuses. But basically, this is very common through DDO. You know, you'll see this, if you can look on the bottom here of the Culture's Wit, you'll see this highlighted, and it basically gives you an extra bonus if you have all items from that set equipped. And these extra bonuses are really, really important in gearing, particularly in-game optimization, because they give you typically either artifact bonuses or profane bonuses. And those are bonus types that are very unique to set bonuses, and they do appear some off not on set bonuses or Sun Moon augment slots, but it's very very rare to see them otherwise. So to optimize your character, I mean, gearing, typically you want to, in-game, typically you want to have 1 set bonus with an artifact bonus and 1 set bonus with profane, or a mix of Sun Moon augment slots, which lets you slot both artifact and profane bonuses. But it's just a very important part of DDO's gearing, but it's not something you have as if you're a free-to-play player and you only have free-to-play content. There's not a lot of that. Now, there is some, like even in Korthos, if you remember, we were using the Anger Step set bonus, which actually... I actually still have those items. Let's see. Oh no, I'm sorry. Yeah, I do. So like these boots, you look on the bottom of the screen, they give you Anger's Wrath, which two pieces give you +2 to hit. But that's just an example of an early set bonus. But yeah, set bonuses do appear throughout the game, and they're important. But in addition to that, these items for my character currently gave me some other things that are important, like got some magical resistance rating here. And these 3 items particularly were good for my character because one gives me strength +6, one gives me charisma +6, the ring, and then the helmet gives me wisdom +6. So those are the 3 most important stats for me, being a strength-based paladin. So it was kind of also a no-brainer for that. And also, this helmet gives me True Seeing, which is super, super, super important on any melee to have True Seeing, because with True Seeing, you can bypass enemy concealment mischance, which means if they have the buff Blur or Displacement, you just ignore it entirely. And it's really, really important, because if an enemy has, say, Displacement and you don't have True Seeing, Displacement will give that mob a 50% mischance. So that means half of your attacks will not hit if you don't have True Seeing. That's why it's extremely vital. Even Blur would be 20%. So it's extremely vital to have True Seeing on your melees, okay? And what else? These also give me some bonuses. Reflex save, heal is okay for positive spell power, although we're not really using that. We're using Lay on Hands mostly for heals. What else? These, yeah, fists give me PRR. So because I got PRR on these gloves, that also lets me wear something else in the armor slot. And I also picked up the Gorgon armor, which is not amazing or by any stretch of the imagination, but it is the best option I had. So PRR was on my previous armor, but now I'm using the Gorgon armor from Eyes of Stone, and I'm using this because it gives me Earthen Guard, which is Stone Skin Guard. So basically it gives me temporary, like basically it works as 70 temporary hit points that enemies have to eat through. It's actually DR. It's not actually temporary hit points. It's DR 10. So it'll basically take off 10 damage from 7 attacks, and that's how long it'll last. I believe it is 70. It has a stack of 70 that spawns. But basically, it's extra defense. So that's nice. And Stone Skin Guard is not a common effect at all. So it's nice for me to have that. It also has a blue augment slot. Should I get a blue augment? I actually did pick up, if you remember, I think I showed it last video, but I picked up a plus 16 PRR blue augment, which I may slot in here at some point in this blue augment slot. But currently I didn't bother doing that because these gloves have plus 15 PRR, so it would only give me 1 extra PRR. So probably at some point if I can find a better armor with a blue augment slot, I may slot that in there, maybe, but I don't know. It's not really that important. Just 1 PRR. So I figured I would just save it just in case I might want to remove these gloves sometime. But I probably won't. I'll probably wear these till cap I'm sure I will for the set bonus. I don't know. Maybe I'll throw it on in there anyway. I was a little hesitant because I don't have any jeweler's toolkits. So if I put that in that armor, I can't ever take it away for any reason. But okay. But other than that, I did also get, well, I actually picked up this Blade of Fury, which is a great sword, but I'm actually not using it. This is a great sword from, also from the Lord's March quest, but it's not really worth using. It's not that good, so I'm just using my random gen great sword. And I actually, when I was running the quest Invaders, which we're going to run in a minute, I picked up this curse spewing stunning great sword. So one of the things that unfortunately when I put the set bonus on is I had to get rid of a few vital things. One was stunning because I had to get rid of it because it was in one of my gear slots that has to be taken up by the set bonus item. I believe it was on my helmet before, and I had to remove it to put the Trez's sight on. So I found this great sword which has stunning and curse spewing. So I'm using this because it gives me stun plus 6 for now. And it gives me curse spewing as well, which is kind of cool. It's not that good. Curse spewing is not very good, but it's something. When it procs, it gives them -4 to enemy saves and attack rolls and skill checks. So it might be some situations where maybe it'll make my stunning blow lane easier because it does give them -4 to their saves. But yeah, so I'm using this for now. It actually is slightly worse damage than the sword I was using, which is this one. It has, so this new sword I got has 0.2 extra multiplier there on the base damage. You can see it's 1.8 2d6 instead of this one, which is 1.6 2d6. But I'm still using this one just because it has it does have the better base damage. This one actually has the electrifying proc. Where is it? This one that I was using has the electrifying proc, so I think it does do a little bit more damage temporarily, unless I actually am fighting a boss or something that stays alive and it gets hit by the 1d6 dot on the curse spewing. But in any case, they're fairly equivalent, and I want to have stunning plus 6, so I just don't have another stunning item that I can for my gear set right now other than the helmet, which I can't wear because it's taken up by the set bonus item. The other thing I had to do is when I set these 2 items on is I had to get rid of my seeker item to make room for the set bonus items. So I don't have seeker right now in my gear set, so I'm looking for that. There's a few items like this one is only giving me death block because I have constitution on elsewhere. So my other items, not including my set bonus items, are not that great. This one's just giving me +2 insightful wisdom, basically. I'm still using the trinket that I got from Catastrophe. If you remember way back then, what was that, episode like 6 or so? When I managed to get this. I haven't had an upgrade to my goggles in a while, which is my deadly item. So, and this is not really doing anything for me. It's just giving me false life. Is this even giving me? Okay, so this is giving me. I wasn't sure if I had false life on a different slot. So this isn't really doing a lot for me. My boots. I would be nice to have a better speed item. I actually have a Seeker on another pair of boots, Seeker +5, but I can't really wear it because then I'll be slow. I'd rather not be slow. I could spam Expedious Retreat, but it actually won't work in this quest because we're going to be fighting a ton of Beholders and Invaders, so they will dispel my my Expedious Retreat even if I use it. And also, if I use Expedious Retreat instead of speed plus 19% on these boots, also won't get the plus 6% bonus to attack speed, which I want, which is the other reason I'm using these boots. So it'd be nice if from end reward lists or chests, I would pull some better items to upgrade my non-set bonus item gear, part of my gear set. But okay, that's about it for items, I think. Oh yeah, so I am using the Gorgon armor. I don't know. I think it's kind of the one downside of it is it's kind of, it's not really the prettiest armor. So you guys tell me, do you want me to use a cape, turn my cosmetic cape on for future episodes? This particular cape doesn't really go well with it, but if y'all hate looking at the armor, I can put the cape on. I'm usually not much of a cosmetic cape person, but I can if you all want me to. The only other thing I guess I'll show my enhancements here. So my enhancements, I did make one change, which I should have been doing this in previous episodes and I wasn't. Exalted Smite, I did take Exalted Smite, 3 ranks in that, and I also went with tier 1 to get more smites. I really should have been using Exalted Smite more often. It honestly just slipped my mind in previous episodes to take it, and I hadn't taken it in the past. But Exalted Smite's really nice because it's a big upgrade to your smites, which I now have 9 of, plus they can recharge. So it gives me extra damage on attack roll, and also the main thing is on these attacks when you use it, it gives you +2 to your critical threat range and damage multiplier. So if you hit a crit, it can do potentially a really big crit. Which is really nice against, particularly against like bosses or any high HP mob. So, okay, that's about it for the intro. So let's go to Invaders. So as I mentioned before, this is a challenging quest. So a lot of builds are going to really struggle here in this quest, just because Beholders, I don't know if I've talked about them before, but obviously one of the most classic monsters in DDO, and pen and paper D&D, I meant to say, but DDO as well. But their main thing is they have some really strong spells. The most scary thing in particular is they do negative levels. So they can absolutely vastly reduce your HP bar and your spell point bar. However, we have one big advantage as a paladin. The advantage we have is actually on our enhancements. It's this tier 4 here in Knights of the Chalice, which is, if you read on the bottom sentence there, it says you are now immune to energy drain. So this, being a paladin, and actually gives us immunity in that tier 4 Knights of the Chalice to energy drain. So we cannot be neg leveled as a paladin. So we're gonna not have, that's gonna vastly make this quest way easier for us. But if you're a different class, you won't necessarily have access to it. You can get access to it in universal tree as well. There's not very many ways. I believe it's Vistani Knife Fighter. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I believe it's the Vistani Knife Fighter universal enhancement tree that you can get neg level immunity to. But there's not a lot of ways to get neg level immunity. You can, if you have something like a spell absorption item, which I actually do have one. It's sitting in the bank. Maybe I should have brought it out to show you for this video. But if you have a spell absorption item, you can use that. That will, as long as you have active charges in there, it will absorb that neg level effect. So there's some things you can do, or you can just try to be sneaky and hit them from range or come up from behind the Beholders to avoid the neg level spam. But they are, it's really difficult enemies in DDO for sure if you're not prepared. The other thing about neg levels that's kind of difficult is you need specific greater restore spells or a rest shrine to cure them. They do cure over time, but if they do cure over time, you're not getting them cured. Say at a rest shrine neg levels, your HP will not regenerate and your spell points won't regenerate. Obviously, your HP will if you are hit by a cure spell or something, and your spell points won't unless you rest at a shrine or drink a spell point potion. Or use something like Divine Vitality from a hireling. But okay, this is the last level 12. I know this is going to be maybe a little bit of a shorter episode, maybe not so much because I talked so much at the beginning here. But I wanted to do this episode by itself because this is the last of the level 12. So next episode we'll be starting on the level 13 quests. And I actually did already hit level 15, but I haven't taken it yet. I really could because this quest I actually already ran on Elite, and I'm just running it one more time for this video. So the other thing beholders do is they strip all your buffs. Now, for whatever reason, I don't know why it works this way, but Holy Sword does not get stripped by beholders. So I'm going to go ahead and buff myself with that, but not with anything else. So you can see at the beginning, the kobolds is kind of part of the story as far as I know. They're running from all the invaders, like the flesh renders, and all the invaders from Zoriat, the flesh renders and the beholders. So it's kind of funny. You don't have to kill those kobolds there. They'll just kind of run away. Okay, so here's the first of the beholders. So one thing, they are pretty easy to stun. So if you have stun, you can normally hit them with that. Also, there's... Oops, I did not mean to do that. Monsters will respawn a bunch on this map as well. So you gotta watch out for that. The reason it does that is there's actually a Slayer optional in this chest in this quest if you want to do it. So, okay. So the other thing that's unique about this quest is at the end of the quest, you can get invader tokens, which there is a unique vendor for this quest, which you can use those tokens. Once you get 25 of them, you can use those tokens at that vendor in the harbor to turn in for some items. However, you don't really need to do that because to get 25 tokens, you get about, as far as I can tell from doing these runs, I think you get about 5 tokens per run in the end chest, and you need 25 to even get to the table. And you can farm this quest for those coins, invader tokens. But I'm just trying to decide which way to go first. Let's go this way first, actually. Yeah, why did I run back here? I was talking and not paying attention. We got to go all the way north here. So you can farm this item for the evasion tokens, but you don't... I wouldn't recommend doing it because the items that you can trade in invader tokens for, they're just all out of date and not useful. So there's no reason to do that anymore. Like maybe back in the day, they were useful, but they are not useful today. So hopefully I'm trying to hit our flesh renders here at the beginning. They are, the dungeon designers set them up often in front of the beholders so they can be a bit of an obstacle, but you really want to get to the beholders and kill them ASAP so they're not spamming you with negative levels and disintegrate and telekinesis and whatever else they're hitting you with. There's another quest that, you know, if you aren't a paladin like me, I mean, you might want to just skip it. Kind of up to you. Oh. I was being a little reckless there with my health. I could have been a little safer there, but whatever. Telekinesis will throw you around. So if you have, so against beholders, so tactics against beholders, if you can range them, try to range them, hide behind something they can't cast through, come up behind them. But if you have any kind of CC, so CC, crowd control, like I do with stunning blow, you want to make sure your crowd control is not on cooldown, so you can use it against them, and hopefully you can take them out of commission. But they're pretty weak actually, enemies. They don't have a lot of defense. They're kind of glass cannons. really deadly spells, but up close they are not too formidable. This quest is fairly straightforward. We basically just need to, you can see the objectives, basically just cover the whole map, kill all the beholders. There are certain beholders, elder beholders, that you have to kill as objectives, but there's really nothing tricky about this quest. You just have to, you know, it's not a huge map. You just have to, you do have to go pretty much everywhere on the map to complete the quest. So just explore everything, and yeah. So here we go. You see stuff respawning. We were already here, but we're seeing more Theracowns and flesh renders. So even though I'm immune to negative levels, obviously my hireling isn't. So my hireling could get taken out of commission here, which is fine. Not too worried about it. Should be using my exalted smites as well against the beholders. Okay, so you do have to go down here on the bottom. So to go to the east path, you do need to go down here. There's beholder in here. So I got my stone skin proc. You can see right here. So it gives me 10 adamantine. So basically I absorb 10 points of damage until it's exhausted every attack. All right. I do recommend, so the end fight is right here in the northeast in this room. So I do recommend going north first and clearing this path and clearing this east wing right here that I just cleared before you go north up here. Because if you don't, you're going to have to backtrack or use DDO to go back anyway and complete those objectives. So you should do it in that order. So we just hit one of the optionals. So there's different layers of the optional, so we can kill 120 more if we want, but I'm not going to bother doing that. So I'm getting some stuns, as you can hear that, and that's not just from stunning blow. That's from where is it? Yeah, so on Vorpal I get a stun. Chaotic evil outsiders. Oh, that's not good. That could have been bad, actually. They caught me and tripped me when I was at, like, what, half health? Okay, so Shrine if I need it. Don't really need it. Yeah, we'll just keep going. So we got to go north. We can go ahead and clear this out. I'll just show you what it does if you haven't completed all the Beholder Slayer objectives. So you have to kill all the different Beholders it tells you to. Yeah, that champ is doing a lot of damage. So right here, you see there's a flame door. You can't go through. This is the end fight. You can't. That flame door will stay up until you've completed all the other objectives, because this is where the infight is. So we still gotta go north and clear this. I really should have waited until my stunning blow was off cooldown before I ran in here. Maybe stun this one. Yep. I really should be more liberal on my Exalted Smite usage. Get a little bit of server lag. There we go. Yeah, so I got hit by one of those spheres here, which does a random effect. Many of them bad, negative, which the one I got hit with was dancing there. Another Ellery Holder, and I freaking whiffed on the stunning blow. Okay, so now as you can see, we've completed all of the objectives now. That was the last Elder Beholder we needed. So now, and by the way, these portals, that's where enemies will respawn at these portals. I know in the past some people used to do this quest by they would go to the first portal and they'd have some people just stay there at a portal while everyone else did the rest of the quest just to get the Slayer objective done. We're not going to worry about doing the Slayer today. But okay, this is let's see, I've got, actually I'm not sure if I had to come in here. Actually I don't think I didn't have to come in here. No, I didn't. Okay. Alright. Just the infight to go. Okay, let's go ahead and heal me up. Okay. Holy Sword's good for another minute. And everything's off cooldown. Alright. So you know what? I actually meant to, I should have tried to stun the other Beholder. That one is a red name. It's immune to stun. This one is the one I meant to go after with the stun. Okay. So that is it for Invaders. I know the XP was a little bit low. That's just because I've already repeated this quest already on Elite. Okay, so here we go. Outsider tokens. This is the special currency from this quest, and they look like gems. They use the same graphic as gems, so it's easy to miss them. They do go into your ingredients bag once you grab them. So I've done this a few times. So I have, let's see, yeah, I've got 15 of them. So if I want to do this quest 2 more times, I could get an item, but it's, again, the items really aren't. I'll show you where the item vendor is right now, but the items, yeah, as I said, really are not worth going after these days. Okay, we're now done with level 12s. On to the level 13s. Not in this episode, but the next episode will be those two. We've got Mired Kobolds and one of the new quests, Dino Crisis is one of the new, Dinosaur Crisis, one of the new quests. See if we got anything good. But those are the only 2 level 13s that are free to play, so we'll be diving into those next episode. But I want to show you, before this episode ends, I want to show you the vendor. Is there anything worth taking here? Ooh, Con 7. Ooh. I'd have to grab that. Maybe I'll use that. So do I want 2 more? Basically, the decision will be 2 Con or let's see, 2 con, and it'll probably give me more PRR, but I'll lose the Earthing Guard. So, so I'll probably, let's see, I'll probably take that. Might end up using that potentially. But so it is minimum level 15, but I'll be 15. I'll be taking 15 before next episode. But anyways, this guy right here, this is the Outsider Tokens NPC, so he's right across. So we're in the south part of the harbor, obviously, if you didn't see it from before. Well, actually, south central. But this is the NPC that's related to the quest we just did. So Guard Benson over there is the guy you turn the quest into and pick up the quest. But this guy over here has the 4 items if you get 24 Outsider tokens. But if you don't have the 25 Outsider tokens, he won't even talk to you. Getting the 25 Outsider tokens is actually a quest all in itself. At least it's typed that way in the quest journal. But again, there's no reason to do that, though. Like, I would not recommend farming this for gear. The items are not good in the list. He can't really offer you anything that's worth it. But yeah, guys, that'll be it for this episode. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you're continuing to enjoy the series. I'll see you guys, in future episodes. Take care. Have a good one.